Okay, so you guys are the title. I sold Honey. I tried filming this video like 4 different times and they all resulted in like a bad meltdown. So I'm in with my babies because they'll distract me and I love you guys so much. So obviously that was a very hard decision because I loved Honey with all my heart. But it came down to, ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be able to do gaming on a horse. I mean, I wanted to be a barrel racer for like the longest time. So when I first got Honey, I didn't know what I was doing with barrels, right? So that wasn't really working out. So I'm like, okay, let's just work on my horsemanship and let's just trail ride. That worked out pretty good. But then as time went on, I figured out what I was doing. And then I'm like, okay, I still want to be a barrel racer. That didn't change. So let's do that. That didn't work out. I tried everything to make that work out, trust me. So, Honey wasn't able to do barrels, throw that dream away. Let's try mounted shooting now. I fell in love with the sport, but Honey won't tolerate gunshots. And I tried everything to make that work out, and it didn't. So it just came down to, you know, I love her with all my heart, and I've made so many great memories with her, but I can't end up fulfilling my dream with her. And financially, I can't afford to have 3 of my own horses. Now, we do have horses with the cows and stuff, but they're not like my own, you know what I mean? So I had to sell her. I spent a lot of time on her ad, and then on October 26th, I think, I posted it on Craigslist, and I got a lot of texts for Honey. I mean, I put a lot of work in her ad. Okay, so 3 days later, I have the first lady come to test ride her out, and she's like, I'll let you know by the end of the day what my decision is. She made me an offer, like, over text. I took it. It was a little lower than I would have wished, but I'm like, sweet. Like, I got her sold within 3 days. That ended up not working out for reasons I'm not going to get into. So then, and I got in a lot of texts, just not a lot of people, like, actually committing to setting up a time to come and ride her. Or calling. So then, like, I don't know, a week and a half goes by, I have this lady call, she's like super, like, wants to buy her, right? She wanted to buy her sight unseen, meaning she would have sent me money, like, before even coming to check out Honey. So I'm like, okay, no, that's not gonna happen, you're gonna come and at least ride her around, you know? So then they figure out, they come out. Kid you not, you know, they leave with her. 20 minutes later, I get a text, and I just ended up calling the lady. Super nice, humble people. Love that. Genuine, love that. It was a mom calling for her 12-year-old daughter for a horse. They've never had a horse, so it would have been their first horse. So the next day they come, and it was 12-year-old girl and her dad. And as soon as I saw them step out of the truck, I thought of me and Miguel when we went to go get Honey. In this girl, you can just tell how much, like, love and how excited she is for Honey. And the mom's like, yeah, you know, we've seen Honey since the day you posted her. They were just having some financial issues. So take Honey out, the girl is all around her. I love that, right? So then take her over. The girl gets on Honey, wants to ride her around. Honey's being a really good girl. She's just very sensitive, and not everyone knows like the cues for her, right? Because I taught her all my own cues, and I didn't expect her to. So when she asked to do elope, Haley gave her a little kick. And Honey, I've never kicked Honey in my life because I never needed to. So Honey freaks out on the girl, right? And she doesn't know what to do, right? So Honey's like, okay, I'm just gonna take advantage of her. They go whipping down the driveway. Honey starts like rearing. I felt really bad for the girl, and I'm like, okay, well, here goes another person, like, no way that they're gonna buy her. So I go up to Honey and I lead her into the round pen. The girl's still on her. Honey's still all jumpy, and I'm just like, easy girl. And as soon as those words come out of my mouth, head down, just calm, relaxed. And that's what made me all kind of like sentimental, because it's like Honey just listened to me so well. And then the dad was just so proud of his girl because she did not freak out when that happened to her. She still had a smile on her face. And so that's why I could just see the potential in her. So at that point, I'm like, on my end, I would be comfortable selling Honey to her. And that's the thing, is I was not going to let Honey go to just anyone. She's my baby. Not everyone deserves to have the privilege of owning her. And as I said in the ad, it was such an honor to own her. Were there days where I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's a lot of horse for me? Yes, but at the end of the day, she taught me so much, kind of like the hard way, but I also ended up teaching her a lot at the end. So the dad made me an offer, and at that point, I was willing to almost say yes to anything, because I was just like praying that these people wanted to buy her, because I could just see the love that Haley had already had for her. So then I said yes, and then he's like, well, we don't have a way to get her home. So my dad's like, we can trailer her home for you. I gave my dad $100 for gas. Sold her almost a month ago. It was on November 13th. Yes, it was hard for me. I cried. I had a really bad meltdown, like, when my dad was hooking up the trailer, and then at the people's house, and then I cried myself to sleep that night. But I think I'm finally at the point where I'm like at peace with it. What really helps is knowing that she is in good hands. So yeah, and now time for a new horse. I got some more money on my hands. Yeah, there may or may not be something happening this weekend. I'm just hoping and praying that it works out. Alright, so I finally got this video filmed without crying. That's been a goal for a really long time. It literally took me like, this is my 4th try, so I'm really proud of myself. But yeah, I'd like to say that was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life, because obviously you guys know I loved her. But yeah, I'm just trusting in God's timing, and I think everything happens for a reason. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, I guess. And I still have this little nugget. Ugly! I love you, Harlow. I'm not to sell her too, though. Yeah, you're just a little baby. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Friends Country, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully it's a really big announcement.